It's true. And it's some type of, I don't know how it is or whatever, but
Yeah.
I look at human beings as like animals. That's basically how I look at us. Like we were in some type of form, we're animals. Like we all in this type of ecosystem.
A
that we in.
derivative of it anyway.
Yeah, if anything. And so, shit, who knows like what we derived from, or you know what I mean, like what species we came from and how it all just collide together to make us who we are. Like we have no idea. Like it's not as simple as we think it is. I don't think.
I wanted to talk about that too because I didn't read it, but I was listening to the book Enoch. Remember we was talking about that yesterday. I told y'all I listened to it.
This is type of conversations we be having. Man, my niggas be having at the park and shit.
At the park.
You know how girls be thinking niggas just sit around and talk about females all day. Talking about
certain niggas do.
Yeah, certain niggas do.
You know
yeah, that shit's so surface. I ain't got time for it. We're not typical at all. I can't sit around and just talk about no damn females all damn day. But
man,
we get into some deep shit.
But you say you was listening to the book of Enoch. Man, that right there changed your whole perspective, bro. As far as like, cause you know that's one of the, I guess like I don't like just putting stuff out there without no solid, you know what I'm saying, solidity behind it because I'm not sure of how true this is. Yeah. But I mean,
and that's what we're doing with all this, by the way, y'all. Like,
yeah, right. If you was to do the proper research, I'm pretty sure you can find dig deep off into it. You can find I guess the origins of it and if this holds weight or not. But supposedly it's one of the original books of the Bible that was removed.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
That missing information that they always talk about.
And that go back to I think you know what I'm saying when we talk about the Council of Nicaea. That,
so what would be the missing information?
We're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
But like, the book of Enoch, let me see. I mean, it's basically it was talking about like the fallen angels, you know what I'm saying, the Nephilim, the giants and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? How giants walked the earth at one time. It was basically talking about that. So I can imagine you know, and they talking about the stars, the information of the stars, and you know what I'm saying, how all that, you know what I'm saying, tie into, you know what I'm saying, how we use that to, you know what I'm saying, tell time and, you know what I'm saying, this type of shit. But that's what it was talking about. It was talking about a whole bunch of more stuff, but what I got from that, like I said, I was listening to it, bro. What I got from that, I don't know if this is necessarily true or not. This is just a theory of mine. But I feel like we're not even supposed to be here, bro. I feel like we came here against...
We're not supposed to be here on Earth?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be on some other planet?
Wherever. But I don't think we was supposed to be here, bro. Like, I feel like the original...
Shit, I can see that. We ain't doing nothing but fucking it up anyway.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like...
That's what the book of Enoch is talking about.
If I just look at just look at how Earth is. Look at animals. Like, that's the main thing. Look at animals, bro.
Right, exactly.
Look how they live within their environment.
Exactly.
They eat, you know what I mean? They not fucking shit up.
The circle of life.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
Just life.
It's like they in the, you know what I'm saying? They in there.
We come in here fucking they shit up or our shit up, whatever.
Because when we go back to the Bible, when we go back to Genesis, we know God created the heavens and the waters, the earth and the skies and all of this. He created the animals, the vegetation of, you know what I'm saying, the world. And, you know, on the sixth day, he created man. Now, we know, okay, he created man and he created
all the
woman.
Numbers.
Right. And you know, carbon is the sixth element. That's the atomic number of carbon.
Okay.
And you know, 6 is, supposedly carbon is composed of 6 electrons and I think 6 I think it's 6 electrons, 6 atoms and 6 neutrons, I think. But this is the element that we're composed of for the most part as far as the physical, because you know the rest is like hydrogen, you know what I'm saying, as far as the water it's like hydrogen, you know what I'm saying, oxygen, nitrogen. Well, I don't know if we got nitrogen. Well, we probably got a small amount, but I know nitrogen is mostly like dirt, like the ground and shit.
Yeah.
But like, let me see, what's the elemental?
Yeah, speaking to Mike.
Hold on, I got you. I'm just gonna Google this shit real quick. Elemental. How can I word this? I don't know, some carbon, nigga.
Shout out to Google, bro. What does Google not have?
Shit, they starting to take shit out.
They are. Trying to Google
shit.
They
I
are.
can't find it.
They hiding a lot of real shit, bro, but people don't even realize it.
Let me see. What's the elemental structure of carbon?
But I can only I can only imagine like what the fuck we are type shit.
I can't even find it.
And why if you just look at just look at Earth simply as it is, what is our purpose, human? How are we really helping the Earth?
Oh, we finna get off into it.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
See, that's what I was getting off into. Okay, supposedly, let me see, on the atomic scale, carbon is element 6 on the periodic table of elements. It consists of 6 neutrons, 6 protons, and 6 electrons. So supposedly this is where 666 came from. I guess it's the mark of the beast. It's the mark of man.
He used to purposely do shit like that.
Dr. Sabapathy.
He used to purposely do like formulas and shit and equations to where they'll equal C. He'll do it. He be like, he be like, ooh, 666. He be like, he was hell, boy. He used to purposely do that shit.
Nah, yeah.
That's where 666 comes from.
Revelation 13:18 says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man. And his number is 603, which is 666. So if this is true, then yeah, that's the. I guess that's where that would be considered where they came from. That's the number of man. Because I guess, bro, I feel like at this point we are the beast, fool. Because what I was getting off into is like God created man on the 6th day. You know, he created woman. He took a rib from man, which we can get off of, like, that's a whole nother story. But he gave him a counterpart and this and that. But we know Adam and Eve, which, you know, Adam, like I say, I'll easily be allegorical, bro, because Adam is probably just the atom. You know what I'm saying? The first man or the first, you know what I'm saying, elemental compound particle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They
purposely simplify this shit like that and just put it in so-called human form or whatever.
Yeah, bro.
That's what it look like.
That's what it sounds like, bro. I mean, yeah, for real, but like, you know, okay, so you know, when he created Adam and Eve, my theory is, bro, I feel like the original man, which I don't even feel like this can pretty much be argued. You know, the original man, he wasn't developed, I guess, in consciousness. Mm-hmm. You know, it took them. They had to eat of the apple. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the fruit of from the tree of good and evil, or the knowledge of good and evil. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's when they fell, and that's when they, wow, whoo! It's like that's when man fell. Is when he ate of the knowledge of good and evil. But before that, I feel like they was pretty much in, you know what I'm saying, unison just in the circle of life. It was living in coordinates with the animals and nature and all this. That was good. It was once they gained consciousness is when they started to develop this, you know what I'm saying, this God complex to where they feel like they was so ruled over everything else and started trying to do all this extra shit. But
extra shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Like your ass trying to fly. See what the fuck I'm talking about? Your ass trying to fly. But listen, though,
this is my thing.
Flying ain't gonna hurt nothing, though.
These were humans, right? What God created. Yeah. Like, I feel like the original man was closer to animal. And we know this when we look at, you know what I'm saying, old, what they call it?
Caveman
like caveman and like Neanderthals. But what we call it, though, when they dig bones up and shit.
Archaeological.
But what's the shit, fossils and shit like that? You know what I'm saying, when I look at that shit. But I feel like, the original man was closer to animals. So like he was living like that. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't on this shit we are now. It was when we failed, what they say, when we failed, when we ate up the knowledge of good and evil, when we fail or whatever, when we gain consciousness or whatnot. But like, what I'm going with this is, when you look at the book of Enoch, see, I feel like this is why they took that shit out, bro, because they don't want you to know where we come from for real, bro. What we are. See, Jordan, I don't think we the original. We not the original man, bro. We something different. We come from somewhere else, bro.
I think it's like, if you ask me, I think it's like some type of higher human forms or some type of whatever, and we might have came from them.
Like, a lot of people,
I don't know.
A lot of people might be.
I got different theories.
Like, a lot of people might be, you know what I'm saying, of that. See, it's so much shit going on, bro. It's just everything is out mixed.
It might be a whole science experiment in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
People don't realize we could be a science experiment, my nigga.
There's a lot of that going on,
we could be. I get weird when I think about it. I be looking every time I think about it. I just look up and be like,
a lot of that going on.
Who the fuck? What motherfuckers playing with me? We were
talking about that yesterday. Like, when we talking about DNA manipulation and, you know what I'm saying, genetic splicing. See,
because we doing it now.
We talking about people.
What's gonna be? What are we gonna
about
create?
Vegetation and shit. Nah, vegetation ain't the only thing that's genetically modified. Nigga, we got genetically modified humans, bro.
Niggas is making their kids have blue eyes and they dark skin as hell.
Yeah, bro.
And whatever.
Man, bro, I'm telling you, it's like that, bro.
What are we creating? What's gonna be the next? Cause think about it, like we have the Neanderthals, then those type of human forms develop into the humans that we are now.
Yeah.
How the humans gonna be? Like I say, 20,000 years from now.
Right.
What are they gonna be?
And that's something that I was like.
The Neanderthals will look at us now and be like, "We
what
not
the fuck
that."
are y'all?
Nah, nigga, they are.
They gonna look at us like we some type of guys or something.
And we will look at them as like some animals. Like
right.
we'll be hunting their ass.
Like a damn ape or something.
Yeah, like an ape. We would have some name for them or whatever.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this was something that I got.
We do already.
This was something that I got wind of not too long ago. Like maybe like years back around 2012 or whatnot. How like humans, how we evolving, like you know what I'm saying, in DNA. Like soon, like. Our DNA, you know how DNA consists of 2 strands. Soon it's gonna develop to where it's like 3 strands, bro. And I think they gonna have more chromosomes, and it's like they gonna like unlock, you know what I'm saying, more parts of their brain.
How much of the brain can we use?
They say like supposed to like, I think it's like 2%. It might be like 10. It's I don't know.
That's why that movie Lucy was so dope to me, which I didn't like the ending, but it made sense. She turned into God, I think. Yeah. She said, "I'm in everything."
She became one with the universe.
Yeah, exactly. And if
that's what we're supposed to do. See, we start separating ourselves.
Supposed to be. We think we the shit and we not.
You know
that's a fucking problem. But to touch on another thing, it's another theory of mushrooms.
Yeah.
I think I saw it on Joe. I saw it on like Joe Rogan podcast. I was watching this guy. I gotta find out the guy who theory it comes from and his philosophy on it, whatever.
Yeah.
About human beings gaining consciousness and just knowledge or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you said, we was like probably just one with the world, whatever, and we were just these animalistic type of creatures, just not even just. We had our communication. Probably,
I'm not even gonna say we gonna say them.
Them, because we not.
We not that.
I guess we might derive from it, but I don't know. But it was the guy's theory. I gotta find it. I gotta start knowing these people's name or whatever. But it was that these guys discovered mushrooms.
Yeah.
Human beings discovered mushrooms.
Yeah. And
if you know anything about mushrooms, if you know about anything about psychedelics, that shit will turn. I haven't really done them, but I can smoke some weed that make me feel completely different.
So you can imagine.
So I can only imagine how like DMT. I think it's a DMT.
Yeah.
DMT. I think DMT they got like these toads. It'll come from the toads too. Some like toad frog things.
They probably.
But that's like the original type of thing that they produce. But like mushrooms and just like what's the name of the drugs or whatever? Psychedelic type drugs. It literally opens up your mind completely. Like it completely opens up your mind different. So I can only imagine those type of creatures back in the day, them getting a hold of something like that and how it opened their mind.
Right.
And like the shit that we getting on now, how it's opening in our mind. Like you got technology, the way it's opening in our mind into the way we even think right now.
Yeah.
People wasn't thinking like it's people who still don't even think like this.
Right.
They like you guys are fucking insane. These niggas is crazy as hell talking about this.
Yeah.
But shit, we the new goddamn apes. We the new like they experience whatever. We the new ones, so we thinking completely different. Yeah. And so, but like, how is the human beings gonna transition in the next centuries ahead of time? Because this shit gonna keep going in some type of way.
Like I say, DNA, consciousness. You know what I'm saying? All that. I mean, that's just assuming that's even gonna still be a thing, just being human. Because like I say, they turn into robots and shit.
Everything's trying to turn. Shit, motherfuckers is regular in the flesh. People are in the flesh human being, but they walking robots damn near.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people's thoughts are controlled by what they see online and technology and what's being produced through them. You know what I mean? Like algorithms. The way a lot of people think is based off algorithms. You know what I mean? The things that they believe in. That's how sometimes when I see certain stuff that's getting fed to me, that I can tell that they purposely feeding towards me because that's what social media or like technology think that's what I fuck with. I kind of try to combat it in a certain type of way because I know that it's kind of programming you in a certain type of way.
Definitely.
They be like, oh, you like that? Okay, here you go.
You know it. So. Nah, for real. But getting back to the Book of Enoch, bro.
Yeah.
I was listening to that joint, and it was like I said, it's talking about the fallen angels, and that was kind of like the story. It was like you had these angels, right? Mm-hmm. They're called the fallen angels. This group of angels, it was led by this one angel. His name was Shem Yaza. He was like the leader. He was the one who like conducted this. It was like, okay, we're gonna go down. we're gonna go down into the daughters of men, what they call it, the daughters of men being humans, basically. And what they did is, like, you had these angels who came down and they interacted and mingled. You know what I'm saying? Basically, took. I want to say, basically, they took their bodies, basically. The way it's the angels. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, the way that made it seem is like, okay, they put it into like terms where it's like, okay, they came into the daughters of men. So basically, they had sex with the women of the earth.
Came into the daughters of men.
Right. So they had sex with the women of the earth. And they had offspring who were, you know what I'm saying, grew to be known as the Nephilim. Those were the giants, the ones who, you know what I'm saying, walked the earth and whatnot. But the way I look at it, I think the theory is that you had these angels, you know what I'm saying, or these intergalactical beings or whatnot, who weren't even what you call it when somebody is from somewhere. They weren't inhabitants. That's not the word I'm looking for, but they weren't of Earth, you know.
Okay.
So I feel like the ones that was here, those were the ones, you know what I'm saying, God's children, the one that they create. I mean, the one that, you know what I'm saying, they say God created. They were more like animalistic. But what you had these intergalactical beings, these angels. They came down, right? And they came down and they, you know what I'm saying, they gave them consciousness, and they, you know what I'm saying, it was some whole other shit.
That sounds like how they try to say like people who have their beliefs about extraterrestrial and aliens or whatever, like how they feeding us things, feeding us technology and shit.
So what you had is like, you had these, so what you have now, you have these offspring who is kind of like, okay, this species that was originally, you know what I'm saying, in living in harmony with the earth, you know what I'm saying, it's more of an animalistic type being, you know what I'm saying, but they came in, you know what I'm saying, with the story, you know what I'm saying, you had these angels who came and started mingling or whatever, like, I don't know if they just had offspring or if they took their bodies or took those shapes and forms, you know what I'm saying, and started living down here because they wanted to experience earth in the physical, you know what I'm saying, shit that was going on down here and whatnot.
They came down here
and what you had, yeah, bro, they just started doing shit.
Wilding.
And they just started, you know what I'm saying, it was like, they just started throwing shit off. They started throwing shit off. And like I was telling you, Enoch was the grandfather of Noah, so he was around at this time. He was the one that the Archangel Uriel came and
is that why Noah had the knowledge that he had?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
of knowing that the flood.
Yeah, that's what they get at the end of it, you know, because they told, I think one of the it might have been Archangel Uriel. It was one of the angels, or it might have been. But Enoch, he was supposed to have talked to God personally. He ended up entering one of these realms, and what I believe he probably experienced. He probably dealt with some of these psychedelics or something, because the way it's worded in the book, it's like he entered a realm where it was like it was different. It was a few different realms that he went through. It was like
high as fuck.
It was one with fire. It was like just straight lines of fire. You know what I'm saying? And it was the angel. The angels guiding him through it the whole time. It was like one. He's saying like some high ass mountains, some that weren't like Earth. They weren't like, there was some like high ass mountains. Yeah. He's saying like some that resembled like a throne. You know what I'm saying? He supposedly, you know what I'm saying, talked to God during that experience.
And who's to say?
And God told him that you know, what was going on and this was gonna happen, and your grandson, which was Noah, is gonna be the one who carries out this you know what I'm saying, carries out the new, because that's what happened. That was the reason God ended up flooding the earth, because of, you know what I'm saying, you had the Nephilim here, you had giants, all this shit was throwing off the balance.
So he gonna watch this shit out.
Yeah, so it's like he was finna, you know what I'm saying, wipe that shit clean and start over, because they was down here like causing havoc type shit.
Now, do you think that, because we talked about this before, do you think it was actually like a flood that really washed the whole earth out, or was it like a particular area? Or it could have been. Because think about how like back in the day they didn't have phones. Their communication was word of mouth. Literally, that's it. And somebody might get on the boat and going somewhere and letting somebody know something. So like I talked about this before. I said you could be in Dallas. Imagine living in the Bible times, living in Dallas.
Yeah.
And a whole flood comes through and washed the whole area out.
Yeah.
You could literally think that it wiped out the whole damn world.
I think it did.
And I think it did because
we see this shit,
other religions say the same thing.
Right,
it's like they all have their different form of Noah. So
and you
in
see
different
it,
areas of the world,
and you physically see it, like, you know what I'm saying, certain waterway or some shit that you can tell was like underwater for a long ass time, and where shit started getting withered away, and you know what I'm saying, this type of shit. But yeah, it could have possibly been, like, I feel like, yeah, like you say, shit, it's not that hard to believe, because like I say, you know, the Earth was all the continents was together at one time.
Oh yeah.
You know
See,
what
that's
I'm
what I'm
saying?
not thinking about. That's what I'm not even thinking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been that. It was like a big ass island, basically.
Exactly.
So a big ass waterway could have just easily.
And
you know
it
what
can
I'm saying,
still happen to this day anyway.
You know
though.
what I'm saying?
But like that make way more sense. What was it called? Pangea. They called it Pangea or whatever. And so, like you said, it was like a big ass Australia, together. Big ass the United States, all the continents together. So all it take, you got all this damn massive body of water
around it. Yeah.
It's literally surrounded with water.
Yeah.
It's an island, big ass island. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was just a big ass land mass or whatever. So that shit is crazy though.
No, straight
it's
up.
Crazy.
But yeah, bro, like that's what I think, fool. Like, man, I feel like that's still going on to this day. You probably have people who like not even like that's what I was looking for, native, I guess, when I was thinking the word inhabitants, like people who were native to Earth. They like, you know me, like I say it all the time, like I be feeling like I'm like that, like I feel like I'm not from here, like I came from somewhere else, like out of there, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I probably just took a body here, you know what I'm saying, because I wanted to experience this shit. And I feel like a lot of us, bro, like I feel like we weren't supposed to do that, bro. Like we was like, you know what I'm saying, we not from here, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying, we came here and like started fucking shit up. Like we was talking about Scar, you know what I'm saying, throwing off the circle of life, you know what I'm saying, as far as like just exerting the land and just like, you know what I'm saying, just taking a lot of shit from.
That comes with a choice though. Cause like I say, like me and you have the choice to not do that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of other people have the choice, but they choose to fuck shit.
Yeah, everybody not doing that shit.
Yeah.
But even to an extent, it's like,
I would love to know how many.
But you gotta think, like, even with that, bro, because we still take part in like the consumption of a lot of the shit that's not, you know what I'm saying, in Earth's best favor or best interest.
We so disconnected from it.
Exactly.
Like just think about like driving a car, you fucking up the Earth.
Exactly.
Earth right now. You finna hop in that little Mustang.
Exactly.
You finna fuck the Earth up right.
I want the Tesla.
For real, I'm Tesla.
I'm getting the Tesla when I got the buddy,
and then
bro.
you could say it's some type of way it's fucking the Earth up too. You
taking off the,
you taking the natural resources,
vibration or something.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
So, but I think because we so far disconnected, disconnect for real. But we so far disconnected from it. Just like this iPhone right here, like how people like it's people who mine for certain materials that go into the iPhone. You have literally child slaves and child laborers who put this whole damn phone together, and they say they not, but they are. Yeah. And it's like certain materials that come from Africa that have to be used in order to make these technologies they use.
Yeah.
And they digging deep in the ground. And these are people who getting treated like shit, and they ain't getting paid shit. And so, but we so far disconnected from it, it's hard for me to understand and feel that, oh damn, this phone was made because it's some kid in Africa or some kid in India or whatever.
Right.
And you know what I mean?
And then it's like we kind of like have the attitude that it's like, okay, that shit got made anyway. So it's like,
so it's gonna get made anyway. So
you know what I'm saying?
You might as well
we
just
don't use it.
Participate
So,
in it. I mean, it's just like back in the day, people who had slaves and stuff. It was just like shit. They already got slaves. Everybody got slaves. Right. So
same with meat consumption. You know what I'm saying? It's like that shit getting slaughtered anyway. Like that shit right there in the stove. That shit already did. They go, what's going with me eating it? You know what I'm saying?
Meat, so.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't no pause. Fuck it.
It's lazy. Hey man.
Let it go.
But yeah, bro, like. Which that's probably something that could be changed if it was a drastic change or a drastic drop in meat consumption. And yeah, they would be forced to stop producing that shit so heavily because it ain't selling. But you know, as far as like, you know what I'm saying,
that shit be good.
Not that many people, you know what I'm saying, it's like it's not gonna suffice. But yeah, bro, like I was listening to that film and it was just like, yo, shit started hitting me, bro. I'm like, damn, bro. We was talking about that, like as far as like you incarnating as a spirit, you coming down here. I'm like, damn, bro. Hoping, man.
I have my mom's brother. He was killed, like he was young when he got killed.
Yeah.
And I was thinking one day, because like the way my mama talked about her brother, she just be like, he was just, you know, he was mad and he whatever, but he was like, she was like, he was so fun and people loved him, whatever.
When was that? It was when you was around. Like,
no, I wasn't no close to where he been born. He was like 20 something, I think, when he got killed or whatever. But I was looking at, I seen a picture, bro. I look just like him, bro.
Word.
And the way I act, my mama say is just like him.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have no connection other than just DNA, and of course that being her brother.
Yeah.
Like, I never met this dude in any way in my life.
Yeah. And
they literally be like, boy, my mama be like, boy, you, like, she always say that.
Yeah.
Then I seen a picture and I looked at him and I was like, bro, what if I'm like a better version of him? I carried that out and came back.
You inherited like some of that energy.
Like, I felt, and I really, I feel like that's when I low key started like transitioning.
Some of that energy started getting like some of that energy got recycled into you.
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure your mama like still carried him in her heart, like a piece of him in her heart.
And she don't really talk about it as much because, and I don't really know. You know, I mean, you know, I guess she's just times when they just come up like that or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it's like I literally carry that spirit with me, like. Even like how she said, like the type of attitude I got, and then like the way I like do things, and like just like I don't know, I just carry that, and so I'm just wondering, like, I guess that's a way of just like things just always coming back. You know how to just say, "Well, you done been here before," you know what I mean? And it's just like I never even got the chance to meet him at all.
Yeah,
never got a chance to meet him at all. I wish I could have, cause shit, he probably would have understand a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like having that type of mentor thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Definitely, it'd be like that. My brother said the same thing.
I can't even explain it.
My brother said the same thing about his nephew because like his grandfather died like a few months before his son was born, and he said like his son like carry a lot of like, you know what I'm saying, his traits or whatnot. He said he walk like him. You know what I'm saying? Like most shit, like certain shit like that. It'd be crazy.